bring it to the flow.
Silent grace, I'm never gonna be done. Lean on in. Now welcome to the kingdom.
Bonjour, you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the new #1 women's wrestling talk show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, aka the Canadian Assassin, and we have amazing hosts, and they have new names. I'm going to call her the amazing cat host lady, Sarah the Rebel. This is going to be refined in the next episode.
Why did I even bother writing exactly how I wanted to be described as champion?
Just throwing the script out.
Cat lady.
I just want to fill it out. So, let me say what's on the script. Sarah the Rebel, pro wrestler and champion cat lady.
Oh, what up, everybody?
Thank you for joining us, Sarah. And she is, I love you guys. She is a correspondent for Arizona, Wrestling from Arizona. Please welcome the cat lady #2, Emily May.
Hi, everyone.
I like my farmer. I like my farmer version, but we're going to work it out. Work in progress. It's what we do. Thank you guys for joining us. We have Star of the Week. We have news. We have all that good stuff. But we have amazing guests. She is new to this show, but not new to the show, the box in general. You can see her ring announcing everywhere. When I mean everywhere, I mean like everywhere. Please welcome Shaul Guerrero.
Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be here. Sarah, thank you so much for inviting me on here. TK, it's so wonderful to see you again. And I want to get in on this cat lady bit, man. Like, I got 4 kitties over here. I'm like, I need to get up in this. Yes, 4.
Oh my
I've been cut off. I've been cut off officially, but like, I have 4 cats and a dog.
No.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, so you do have a dog.
Yes, we got a dog. We added a dog in a tiny Chicago walk-up. I don't know what we're doing, but it's fun.
So I learned this reading the back of authors, like the back of books when you read the about the author section, right? It's always the same. Either the author has 2 cats and a normal family, or the author has 3 cats, 4 guinea pigs, a horse, a bald eagle to rescue. So like you went over the cat limit, you're in danger.
Yes, I definitely. What is the cat limit though? I'm like, it's 3.
It's 3. Maybe 3. Yeah. I mean, do you have like corresponding cat? Like, do you have mugs that say like cat mom and like stuff on T-shirts and stuff? Because that's like full on.
You know what? Like, not yet. I think the cat fur all over my entire black wardrobe, I think is doing that enough for me.
Okay.
But that's next. That's on the Christmas list for sure.
A cat mug.
Yes.
With their picture. You need their picture. Yeah.
Definitely.
Wow. Okay. I don't know how to transition from cats, but
Wow, be more creative. So your cats and you, how are you handling the pandemic and quarantine? How has that been going?
Cats in Quarantine. That's a TV show right there.
Hell yeah, I want to be on that, man. Honestly, like I think the animals, all of my animals have really enjoyed quarantine. They've been like, Mom and Dad are home, like all the time. So they've actually been very therapeutic for us, especially with my husband, Aiden English, aka Drama King Matt. We both had a big stopper in a lot of our work during pandemic, especially not only with the wrestling, but like with my burlesque work and with my my live dance performing. And so like everything just stopped for us. So like the cats have been definitely therapeutic. At one point, I think during quarantine, I just had 4 cats on top of me and the dog at the end of the bed. And I was just like, you know what? This is fine. It's going to be fine. I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but it'll be ffine.
Oh my gosh. So now just for my folks who are watching, like I said at the beginning of the episode, Shaul has been on the show before, and if you want to get like the the nitty gritty and the ins and outs and how she started and all this other stuff, go and check out that episode. What we do here, especially if you're coming on the show again, we like we're not going to regurgitate because that gets boring, and then she's not going to want to come on again, and we don't want any of that. We're going to talk about cats and wrestling and quarantine, apparently.
So besides like hanging out with your cats and like having that therapeutic fuzziness all over you, what other things have you been focusing on in quarantine? Because we all have shifted, like the whole world has shifted, especially live events and sporting events. We've like completely changed how we do them, and we've completely stopped. So like, what have you been focusing on, like personally and then also professionally?
Definitely. Honestly, like, I'm gonna get real with you guys. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it and just be like, I decided to get jacked, and if you did, that's great. Like, that's 100% great. But like in the beginning of quarantine, I think like just all of the changes were so huge. I especially with my husband and I losing our jobs, like I went into like panic mode and like was trying to find work like anywhere I could. Like I signed up for Uber and like Lyft, and I was like trying to find like shifts at my bar, like delivering food, and went into panic mode, like kind of shut down for a little bit and really just tried to focus on my mental health. And so with that, it was working out, like getting active, and my husband like and I got active together. And I did a lot of reading. I'm a big bookworm as well, so I did a lot of reading, lots of Netflix. But and then other than that, like towards the end of quarantine, things started to shift for me when I got a call from AEW asking me to host the women's tournament, the tag team cup tournament. So that kind of took a turn a little bit, but a lot has happened. I feel like I've had an awakening in the middle of quarantine. So I'm actually getting back into wrestling as well. I'm like starting to train again. So lots have happened. Like a lot of nothing happened, and then a lot happened, if that makes sense.
Let's get back into like the wrestling training. So like, what did something happen? Did somebody talk to you? Did you say like, I feel like my body's great right now? How did that come about?
Yeah, that's
I mean, it was a scary decision for me because I mean I've been out of wrestling for around 6 years as far as physically in ring. Like I've done things here and there, and then with WoW, like which is how I met Sarah, I was doing the announcing, and I remember even at WoW at one point I was like, God, I really miss the ring. Like there's just something in me that like I wanted to roll around and bump with the girls and get in there, but I was still very much on the edge of like not knowing if my body can handle it. And then when I went to AEW, once again the bug bit me again, and I was like, you know what? Let's just try this out. I was talking with Dustin Rhodes, and he kind of let me like get in with the girls and roll around a little bit, and my body felt great. And I came home to Chicago. I found a ring here in Chicago, and my husband is rolling around with me right now. Everything feels good. Everything feels, I mean, like as good as it can be. You know, when you've been out of the ring for 6 years, and then you have your first bump, and you're like, oh God. Like you just have to remember you have to recallus your body all over again. But by the grace of God, everything's feeling good. Everything's feeling awesome, and I'm gonna start getting back out there and gonna tackle the indie scene, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
So are you like, have you been reaching out, or is this your first, are you making the announcement here to let people know that they can reach to you?
This is like today I actually made my first post on Instagram. I'm like officially available for wrestling along with announcing and managing. But yes, you guys are the first podcast, the first show I'm on here saying like, yo, Shaul Guerrero is available for booking.
Okay, Shaul, we're gonna talk more about this later, but I just want to point out tag team. I'm interested.
Oh,
okay,
girl.
We'll move along from that.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me, Sarah.
I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're gonna talk later.
It's hilarious.
We're gonna talk.
Sarah's gonna book like she's gonna be a tag team with everybody who comes on this show, and I love it.
It is funny.
I'm down.
I am booked by the booker who came on our show. She booked me on a show. Listen, I become a tag team with you. I got to figure something out with the next guy. We can make this.
I mean,
She's making some work for herself.
I love it. I love it.
Now, on top of being a possible tag team with Sarah, what about like with your husband?
Oh, absolutely. Like, my husband is 100% down to work with me. But it's funny though, because he was like, you can manage me. I was like, dude, you're amazing on the mic. And I was like, what? I wouldn't need to manage you. And then like, same with him with me. Like I've got a good promo. And so like, we were just like, yeah, we just got a tag team. We just gotta work together, like in whatever capacity that is. And so absolutely, like I'm down to do it all. And I'm just so excited. My neck's feeling good. My body's feeling good. Taking care of myself a lot. I'm like in the gym a lot, like just trying to get strong, and it's working. So hell yes.
That's
very
amazing.
exciting.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's so exciting. And thank you for like announcing it here.
Surprise! Yes.
Are there like independent wrestling companies that you're like targeting right now that you really want to really be a part of as you kind of get back into things?
Well, like I'm in Chicago right now, so we do have some amazing independent wrestling shows here. Like we have Zello Pro, that's really awesome, and then we also have freelance wrestling. There's a lot of really great stuff in the area, but honestly, right now it just kind of depends on like where it's safe for wrestlers, where it's safe for the talent and whatnot. I'm willing to travel. I love to travel, and so honestly, I'm down for anything and whatnot, especially with my husband. So, but my husband is actually making his like post WWE in ring debut with Zello Pro this week, and so I'm gonna go to that show and check it out and whatnot. But yeah, there's so many great companies out there, so I'm down for anything.
Now, we've seen like kind of you had to like adjust and pivot with everything with the quarantine and the pandemic and everything, and we're still kind of in it. And wrestling has kind of changed. What do you like? Is there anything that you kind of want to bring back from, pre-pandemic to what this version is? Because we're not. I think everybody hopes that 2021 we're going to go back to normal, but this is
normal, the new normal.
It's a new normal.
As far as like what I was doing before, like outside of wrestling, is that? Yeah, like honestly, I'm still a Vaudette. I don't think the last time I was on the show with you, TK, I was a Vaudette at the time. Maybe I was. But I'm a part of a rock and roll dance group here in Chicago, and we're called the Vaudettes. We've actually been on Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager. We were on Part 2. And like we love doing those shows. I'm still active with them. Like we do workshops and whatnot. And so I'm definitely going to continue doing that, like no matter what and whatnot. But I hope I can still do burlesque and, like my photo shoots and whatnot, and still bring a little bit of my witchy flair into wrestling as well. Cause like I've come out like as a witch on social media as well. That's something else that's gotten me through pandemic. So I don't know. I'm excited, man. Honestly, I'm excited. I feel like I'm a completely different person coming back into wrestling, like as an active in-ring entertainer at this point. So I can't wait to just show the world like what I've been up to and just like this new transformed me. So definitely going to be involving all of that, and maybe my cats.
So
I don't know how.
Burlesque, you've been doing some virtual stuff with the burlesque dancing. Have there been any interesting challenges or anything you actually discovered you really liked about doing the virtual form of dancing?
You know what? Like with the virtual stuff, I was kind of doing that via my Patreon, and like it was really fun. Like it is just so challenging though, because burlesque is very much an in-person thing. You're very much like, just like with wrestling, you work off your audience and you change things depending on what your audience likes or doesn't like. And so like with me personally, I know I haven't been a big fan of doing the virtual stuff, as well as like, and then we're going to get into like music copyright kind of stuff. And it's so hard. So I've kind of taken a step back from burlesque just because it's such a vulnerable art form that it's like, if I'm not 100% comfortable in that media, I'm not going to put myself out there, especially in such a, like just full frontal kind of way. So I'm taking a pause. I'm going to wait until I can be able to perform in front of a live audience again. But I know Harley Harper, who also works with WoW, like she's doing some kick-ass stuff in terms of like the virtual burlesque scene. So I'm like, anyone that's doing that, like major round of applause, like major kudos. But for me, it's not quite my thing right now.
I'm trying to remember her WoW name right now. She's Little Red Riding Hood.
I know, she was the chainsaw. She was she was. I know,
but she's Chainsaw's sister.
Yes, Chainsaw Sister. And I like, sorry girl, but like Harley Harper is her burlesque name, and she's a regular baddie. She did reach out to me in terms of like doing stuff with her show, The Damn Devils. And they're doing just so amazing. But I think at the time I was just feeling already so vulnerable from, I think, all the changes that pandemic has hit us with, and just trying to be okay mentally, or like being okay with not being okay, that I think I just didn't want to take on just that huge of a project and it was just such an emotional thing. Like if I'm not in the right place, I'm not going to produce good art. So yeah, for right now, putting a little pause on that, focusing on the wrestling a little bit more right now. So, but I love to do it all. I can't just do one thing. So it'll come back around.
So I want to kind of cycle back because you kind of like slipped that in. So you said you came out as a witch?
Oh, yeah. I keep dropping these little mini bombs on you guys. I'm so sorry. I did. I came out as a witch very recently, which has been kind of scary. Like I come from a Hispanic background, which that's usually pretty ingrained in like Catholicism or like pretty heavy religion kind of associated with that. And so I was like a little bit like, I don't know if I should do this, but honestly, I'm just all about exposing my truth and whatnot. I actually have a YouTube video. I have a YouTube channel. Like I've been kind of in and out of it, but I do have a full-on video explaining like why I became a witch and how and like my journey of getting there. But yeah, that's been pretty recent. And so, yeah, that's just the whole. I'm just a rock and roll, cat loving, wrestling witch.
I love it. Can you talk a little bit about like you came out as being a witch and you said slightly that you're bringing that into kind of the wrestling world, right?
I would like to. I would like to, definitely. Like honestly, like when it comes to like my wrestling persona and how I'm gonna come about it this I guess in this new way, because when I was in NXT and FCW, I was a completely opposite character. I was like kind of like this Lady Gaga meets wrestling kind of thing. I was hiding behind like this really crazy gimmick, which was super fun. It was really fun. But I'm really trying to be more of myself, like heightened. I want to be able to pay homage to my family and to my father. I want to be Latina heat, but like with my rock and roll witchy self, queen of the craft. And so that's what I want to do coming out there. So, and the craft can be witchcraft. It could be the craft of wrestling. And that's kind of what I want to bring to the table. I don't know if that kind of makes sense. I haven't like fine tuned everything because I'm just getting started, but it'll be fun to watch it unfold, I hope.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I'm excited to see it all happen.
Thanks, me too. I'm hoping I can like fire eat maybe as I come to the ring. I'm kind of playing with that as well. I don't know. We'll see.
So I don't know if you talked. So this is gonna be the last. Well, maybe it might be the last witch question. So
okay.
But like when you came out to your folks, because you like, I mean, obviously everybody knows you're Latina, and it's the same thing with me. Like there's like Catholicism is heavy, but what a lot of people don't talk about is that Catholicism is mixed with paganism, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of this.
Right, but nobody wants to talk about that. When you came out to your family, like what, like was there any like, oh yeah, no, girl, we don't do that?
You know what? Like I didn't sit down. It's funny because like I feel like my mom has like seen this coming like over the past couple years because I publicly came out very recently, but like I've been tinkering with this for the past like 3 years, and like randomly at dinner she'd be like, so are you still like a Christian? And I'm like, I'm not a Christian. And so I don't know, like we would kind of play around with stuff, but she always like reiterated, I love you no matter what. I support you no matter what. And that's kind of it. Like we just kind of leave it at there. And mom, like she surprises me because when I think that she's going to be like, oh no, like she's like, read my tarot cards. So I don't know, she surprises me. And so I never really sat down and was like, Mom, I'm a witch. Like I think because she saw my video, she saw it, and I got like a random phone call from her, and it was just one of those like, I love you and I support you and I'm proud of you. And like and I think that was all that needed to be said because that's all that's really important. And she was like, so long as you're good. And I'm like, I'm good. So yeah, but it wasn't anything like, thankfully none of my family has been like, at least not to my face, like they haven't been like, oh Lord, like we're not dealing with that. But actually I've had some cousins come out and been like I'm so happy you came out because our family is really weird about religion, so good for you. And so I'm like, wow, okay. It was more well received than I thought it was going to be.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah, you look like you have something on, like you You did
Oh
your
no,
whole.
I'm just into tarot and witchy stuff too. And I also had a Catholic mom who was like actually totally fine with it because it turned out she doesn't consider herself a witch at all, but she has
Spiritual.
she has angel cards and she believes in
Ah,
it. I'm like,
yeah.
Catholic. This is not. It's fine.
It's funny. I love that though because like I kind of joke with my husband's mom a little bit like that she's a witch because she's so good with children and animals just naturally gravitate toward her, and she has like crazy intuition about like when things are wrong or when things just aren't quite right. And I'm just like, oh, you're a witch too, like haha. But everybody's just been very supportive. But like Sarah, I don't know, girl. Now that you said like all that, it's like we got to be like sisters in the ring and outside of the ring.
We'll just be called the Sister Witches. It'll be.
I know.
We'll workshop the name.
We'll work it out. We'll work it out. Yeah.
So I'm totally watching Practical Magic right now. I like started part of it yesterday because it's one of my favorite movies to watch around this time. So
yes, I love
September.
that movie.
What does that mean? Around this time, like.
Listen, we're all coping in our own ways. We need to get started.
I'm watching old Sandra Bullock movies. That's what's happening.
Ah, okay. Because I was like, is this around this time that you watch Practical Magic?
No, October, September, October is like.
I'm so glad though.
Hocus Pocus. He's like, so when are we?
Y'all, like, no lie, I decorated for Halloween today. Like, I'm in full Halloween mode, man. Like, it's going down over here at the Guerrero house.
Let's talk about decoration.
I love it.
I'm here for it.
What are some of your favorite finds or things that you got that you love?
Oh my God. Okay. So I just went like before I went to AEW like a week and a half ago, like I told my husband, I was like, listen, I need a little pick me up. And he was like, well, what does that mean exactly? Does that mean we're getting food or does that mean we're getting another cat? Like what does that mean? And I was like, that means Spirit Halloween is open and you're taking me. And like we walk in and I'm already getting like hyped, like super hyped. And he was like, you get 3 things. He was like, that's it. And so honestly, like my favorite things I got a little palmistry like hand that like stands up and it's like so pretty and whatnot. I know it's not like, it's probably not accurate, but like I love it because it's spooky and cute and it's going to be in my house year round. I got a Hocus Pocus throw that says, another glorious morning. And then I got an Oogie Boogie pillow. So I'm like about it, but like, I don't know. It's hard. I love all things Halloween, like pumpkins. If I could, it would be Halloween in my house year round.
Do you have a favorite movie that like you always watch every year?
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. That is so hard. Honestly, like I'm like vampire obsessed. Like it's probably unhealthy. But honestly, Bram Stoker's Dracula is my absolute favorite movie of all time. So
legit.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
man.
you can bring that persona and kind of
yes, absolutely.
Into your wrestling.
I love it. I'm getting some gear made and it's going to be spoopy for sure. So I'm excited.
But when you like decorate your apartment, like you just said that you like would want to have Halloween all year round. Like what is like, do you like have it tie in with your Christmas decorations or is it just surpass?
No, like I said, this was what I would want. Now, husband, on the other hand, he is Christmas crazy. So he lets me decorate a month early and whatnot. I have it all the way up until like October 30th. And then literally right after October 30th, up go the Christmas decorations.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so, but that's our compromise. I was like, you let me have my time and I'll let you have your time. So everything kind of comes down besides my altar. Like I do have an altar in my house and it's beautiful and spooky and it will stay up there like all year round. So
I feel like I feel like this is like a new interview, but not. It's like I know so much, but I'm learning so much more. It's like
new stuff. It's great.
Yay! I'm glad I'm not disappointing.
Go back to the new stuff with AEW.
Yeah, I was like, let's go back to that.
Yeah, I feel like we can circle back to it. So how did that come to be? And then do you think there's any future stuff that's going to come to be with AEW?
So honestly, like I was super surprised because Brandy Rhodes reached out to me and was like, "Hey, we have this women's tournament. Like, would you like to announce it?" And I was like, "Pshaw, yeah, absolutely." So
You don't really say no to that.
no, and I was like just so excited, and I was missing WoW so much because like it was like when I filmed that, like it was kind of around the time WoW would be filming, and so I was like really feeling like sad being away from the ring. And so like it came about, I was so excited. I said, absolutely. It went well. And so, and as far as like anything new with AEW, I don't know, like that they have so much going on. They have so much amazing talent on their roster right now. If an opportunity comes up again for announcing or interviewing or even wrestling maybe down the line, I don't know. I would absolutely 100% jump at the chance. They have an amazing backstage, like I sound like witchy, like aura. Like it's just good vibes there. It's really positive. I love the locker room. They have women of every shape and size, just like how it was at WoW. And so if I again get another opportunity with them, I absolutely would at the drop of a hat. So you never know. You never know. I like to keep things fresh for you guys. So
Definitely.
So as far as like, is there any other like promotion or like anything else that you want to do? So we know you're getting back in the ring and you've been like, you know, ring announcing for a bunch of promotions. But is there any promotion that you want to like, man, I wish like when the opportunity presents itself, I want to ring announce for them?
I mean, I would absolutely love to be able to say I ring announce for every single promotion out there, especially on TV. Like, I would love to work with Impact as well, and whatnot. But I also like I'm also thinking about like, of course, with ring announcing, 100% across the board, I would love to do that. But like, I'm also thinking about WoW. Like, I wonder if there could be an opportunity at WoW to wrestle maybe at some point, because like I would absolutely love to work with the girls there. Like, there's so much. Like our roster is amazing, and so I would love to learn from people there. But yeah, honestly, I'm just down. I'm down for it all. I've missed wrestling so much, and I'm so happy how it's coming back to how it's all coming back to me now. I feel like I can't say that without having Celine Dion in the background.
That's all coming back to
Thank you.
you now.
Yes, I'm so glad you guys like got the reference, because it was gonna be so embarrassing if you didn't.
We're gonna add that soundtrack. We're adding it.
I'm so excited. Yes, so it's all coming back to me now. And so yeah, I'm just I'm an open book of opportunity. If anybody wants to give me an opportunity, I would love to work hard and to be able to prove myself in a whole new light and way in the wrestling community. So yeah. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you're like a multi-generational, wrestling family.
Yes.
And how do you feel like you're like cementing your own path and like your own legacy in as things shift in the wrestling industry, especially with women taking charge, like Brandy Rhodes taking the lead on AEW. So where do you see yourself going in that path?
Honestly, like I've struggled for a long time, even when I first started at 19 with FCW and WWE, about where I fit, especially with what you're saying, bringing in the whole generational aspect of being a Guerrero. And for the longest time, I thought that was needing to be perfect and needing to be the exact like equal to my father and to my mother, because my mother was this amazing force on the mic and my father was just like not comparable in the ring. And there was just this huge like burden of like, oh my God, I need to get this right. And I have honestly recently thrown that aside. I had to throw it aside, because that amount of pressure was like stifling and suffocating, and I wasn't growing and I wasn't having any fun. I really wasn't. And I think that was why I took such a long hiatus from being an in-ring performer, because I just had negative associations with wrestling, honestly. And so now I'm just getting back in the ring, and I'm not putting any pressure on myself to be my father, to be my mother. I am honestly just like, I'm gonna have some freaking fun, and I'm gonna do this my way. I know I'm not a luchador. Like I'm not a person that I can't do my dad's flippy I can't do all that. And I'm like, that's okay. And like, I'm noticing, I'm like, that's okay. Like, I'm going to be a completely different person, and I'm going to be a completely different athlete. And I know people aren't going to like that necessarily as far as like fans and whatnot. But there can only be one Eddie Guerrero. There can only be one Vicky Guerrero, and there can only be one Shaul Guerrero. So I'm going to be able to serve it to them the way I want. And that also includes me with my announcing. I love announcing so much. It's so great. And I love that I'm like the first like announcer, a first Guerrero that's an announcer. Like no one else has really done that. And so that's what I'm trying to forge my way into. I want to be able to do both of those aspects and do it my way.
Create your lane for sure.
So, thanks.
We are going to go into rapid hot tags. So
don't worry,
it's okay.
I'm ready. No, I'm ready.
What we're going to do is I'm going to ask Shaul a question. She's going to say the first thing that comes to her mind. And it's different questions. So like I said, we had her on the show previous to that. Check out that interview because it's amazing. But this is something different. So here we go. So favorite quarantine snack?
Hot Cheetos.
The hot ones, huh? Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do you prefer
Con limon, babe. Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer working out at home or at the gym?
Gym.
Do you prefer cooking at home or ordering out?
Oh, ordering out.
If you can wake up tomorrow having gained one quality or ability, what would it be?
Telepathy.
What in your life are you most grateful for?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
What in your life are you most grateful for?
My husband. No.
This is what I really love. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
The body. Oh yeah. I don't want to freak people out. That'd be good.
Good body.
We all have different answers.
You're outnumbered at this time.
I'd be like, I can't remember shit, but I look hot.
Yep, that's what I'm about to. I prefer that.
Exactly what I say.
And Sarah the Rebel, what do we have? Who do we have for Star of the Week?
Today's Star of the Week is Jessica Havoc. The 16-year veteran of the wrestling scene is currently at Impact, where she is a previous Knockouts champion. Standing at 6 feet tall, the imposing Havoc has competed in Ring of Honor, Japan Stardom, WOW Women of Wrestling, Shine, Shimmer, WSU, and many other prestigious promotions, with more than 7 previous championships under her belt. And a fun fact, if you saw her episode of Impact where she was sent into the Shadow Realm, I was one of the undead brides. Be sure to follow Havoc at Havoc Death Machine and tell her Women's Wrestling Talk sent you. And if you want to learn more about a star of the indie wrestling scene, please shoot us your suggestions for future Stars of the Week.
That was wonderful, Sarah.
Love it.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you,
Sarah.
Thank you, Shaul.
Welcome, everyone.
Thank you so for joining us. You are amazing. I love like this new, because when we spoke the last time, like there was some tears shed. Like it was like,
oh yeah,
like, you know, like a very emotional moment for both of us. So I love this. Like, I think quarantine is, if you don't come out of it either like, you know, discovering yourself or like a new habit or a good habit, something like from that, then like you're like, you know, nobody wants to be in it, but you know, make use of it. And I love this like new like
energy.
Yeah, it's
thanks,
amazing,
guys.
You know, just keep doing what you're doing. I am so excited for you. I definitely want to see, you know, there's definitely more, especially in the ring. Like,
oh yeah.
So
I know. I'm so. It gives me chills to think about all of the things you're spearheading and making.
Like you and Sarah, and you and your husband, you and your cats. It's like it's a whole thing. Like I'm just like, let's do it. I want to see it all.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me on the show. It's always so much fun, and like, thank you guys just for giving me a platform to say hello to everybody and for all the fun questions. This was hella fun. I had a good time.
Thank you so much. Now, for everybody who doesn't know or is not following you, which is stupid, where can everybody find you?
So you guys can follow me on Instagram at Shaul Guerrero. You can also follow me on Twitch. I have a Twitch now at Shaul Guerrero. And I believe on, I'm not on Twitter like ever, but it's like Guerrero _Shaul. So you guys can hang out with me there.
There you go. And Sarah the Rebel, aka Cat Mom #1, I think.
Yep,
Where
Mom
can everybody
#1.
find you?
You can find me everywhere at Sarah the Rebel, including Patreon. And Sarah has an H as God in the Bible intended.
And Emily, Cat Mom #2. Where can everybody find you?
Mom #2 here. You can find me on all social platforms at Emily May Heller, and follow Safe Wrestling Collective on Twitter and Instagram.
So I may have a cat the next episode. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But you can find out everything
Need a special cat
at
episode.
TK Trinidad. And make sure you are following us on all social media platforms. WW Talk on Instagram, WW Talk 2020 on all the other platforms. We thank you so much for joining us. We thank you for making us the new #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Till next time, guys. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.